welcome to another episode of Talk Life with me. So today, as I mentioned before, we have another guest speaker, and I think it was super cool last time that I had a new mom, and this time I'm going to have a seasoned mom because I think it's important to see different sides of motherhood, because motherhood, again, like we mentioned, is a lifetime commitment. It's a lifetime responsibility. And today we're going to be speaking with Aimee Armenta. There we go.
Hi guys, I'm Amy.
So a little, I guess, backstory is I recently met Aimee about a year ago when she got married to a high school friend, junior high friend. He's old.
Yeah.
I've known her husband since we were kids. And so it's been nice getting to know her and the different testimony that she has. So I'm going to let her talk to us about her journey to motherhood. So tell us about your kiddo, how old he is, things like that.
Awesome. Okay, well, my son Samuel is 15 years old now.
He's a teenager.
Yeah, he's a teenager. He just turned 15, so it's definitely a new journey. I had him very, very young, so I was in high school when I had him.
Yeah.
I was 16, so I was a freshman in high school, and it definitely was a challenge. Yes, so I was a baby with a baby.
A baby with a baby. That must have been challenging.
Yes, it was challenging and it was a very scary season.
Yeah.
Back then, because
Yeah.
back then it wasn't as open as a lot of
Right.
as it is now. But
Right.
I'm blessed to have him, and
Aw.
he's still my baby, and he
Yeah.
makes fun of me. So
He's taller than you know.
he is taller, yeah.
But he'll always be your baby.
Yeah, I'm like, no matter how tall, te voy a agarrar.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Okay. So you had him at a very young age. Do you think that it was hard, like, to begin with, or did you catch on pretty quickly?
No, it was definitely very, very hard because, like, I didn't know what I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
I was young. I was going through my first year in high school, and then on top of it, I was struggling with how do I take care of a baby.
Yeah.
But it was definitely a challenge, but it helped me grow and mature a lot quicker
Mm-hmm.
than I would have if I would have waited a little bit
Yeah.
longer. So it
Yeah.
definitely taught me to be responsible and what to expect in life, as a mother. Like,
Yeah.
we
And
kind of grew together.
it's crazy that kids do that to you, is that you grow up.
Yeah.
Like, you have to mature, like, so fast. And it's, like I mentioned before, it's not about us anymore. Like,
Right.
I'm assuming as soon as they put them in your hands, you're like, this is my life. Like, this is what I'm going to
Yep.
dedicate myself to.
Yeah, and every sacrifice, it's like you thinking about what is going to be good or bad for him.
Right.
It's always in the back of my head, like every decision that I made, like, is
Yeah.
this going to benefit him or is this going to hurt him
Yeah.
in the long run?
Right.
Not just in that moment, but in the long run.
Right.
Like, are people going to criticize him when he gets older because, his mom's decisions? So I feel like everything affected every little decision that I made. Like,
Yeah.
do I want to, stay out or do I want to come home? Do I
Yeah.
want to eat this certain food? Is it going to affect him if I'm breastfeeding? Like,
Yeah.
every little thing I was like overthinking it.
Yeah.
A lot.
No, and as a young mom, take us to the moment where, like, you had to make those decisions, because you're young. You want to go out with your friends. You
Right.
want to do what las otras jóvenes are doing. So take us to a moment where you had to, you know what, I can't do that.
I think it was the moment that they placed him in my hands, and my mom kind of told me, like, this is your responsibility now.
Yeah.
Like, este es tu deber ahora.
Right.
You can't think about yourself anymore.
Right.
It's him. So it made me realize, like, every decision, who I involve him in his life,
Yeah.
is gonna affect him for
Yeah.
either the good or the bad.
Yeah.
So,
And I'm glad that your mom said that, because unfortunately, I think a lot of times when young girls are having kids, they assume, oh, my mom's going to help me. My mom's going to take care of the baby and I'm going to just be me.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you took that decision. And so I'm glad that she said that. I know it's hard. And do you feel like you were ever judged throughout that process?
yeah, definitely. I think I didn't have a lot of, like, friends that were my age that were supportive in that stage of life. So my go-tos were very, like, in the church.
Yeah.
Besides my parents, I had what I call them, my grandparents.
Yeah.
Sister Connie and Brother David, who they were a lot older. They were like my grandparents.
Yeah.
And so they were my go-tos.
Yeah.
Like, what do I do? Like, I'm struggling with this,
Right.
but going to the store or going, like, even in high school,
Yeah.
walking through high school, I felt like everybody was judging me because at that time, I was the only one that had a baby.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and I grew up with all these people like for
Oh,
years.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it was definitely like Juan makes fun of me because he's like the one thing I remember is like you would keep your books and you keep your head down and walk really really fast, and I'm like because I felt judged like
Yeah,
because I was
yeah.
walking through those hallways and it's like what are they gonna say about me today?
Yeah.
So it was definitely a hard season
Yeah.
for me. So.
Yeah. And then when you did have him, like did you ever feel like you weren't gonna be able to do it on your own?
Yes, there was times where I wouldn't show my parents because my dad was always like, "Don't cry," but at nights, I always cried, and I was like,
It's
"God,
hard.
what do I do
Yes.
now? Like,
Yeah.
I don't think I can do this anymore. I can't do
Yeah.
this by myself."
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a tough season, but it definitely, like again, it definitely helped me mature and grow up
Yeah.
um, for that precious little baby because he's innocent. He didn't ask to
Right.
come at that time.
Right.
So
Yeah, and I think an important thing too is you mentioned all these people that were around you, helping you, giving you guidance. Having a good support system after you have a baby is super huge.
yes,
And que bueno, gracias a Dios that your parents were there throughout the whole journey.
yeah,
It's important, especially because I don't know if you remember when I said you appreciate your mom so much more once you're a mom
oh
yourself.
yeah, oh yeah. I definitely do. Now I understand when my mom was meaning like, como te dice tu mamá, no hagas eso,
Yes.
and it's like, ay mom, tú qué sabes,
Right.
like you don't know it's the new, but it's like, okay, yeah, they're doing it, and now I
Yeah.
see myself telling that to Sammy. And Sammy
Yes.
sometimes tells me
Yes.
that like, mom, you don't know, that's the new slang, and it's like,
Yes.
no.
Yes. Yes. Cool. Awesome. So I know we also, you said he's 15.
He's 15 now.
So please talk to me about the teenage life because my kiddos are not even close to that age. But like, I feel like as a mom, you're always trying to prepare for ahead. Like,
Yes.
¿qué va a devenir? How can I be better? How can I do better? So how is teenage life? Like a mom with a teenager.
So it's definitely, it still has its challenges, but I think learning now as a 15-year-old, their priorities change,
Yeah.
right? Like before it was like, mom, take me. I think it hit me when he first started high school. Um, I've always had a tradition where I walk him to school every
Oh,
year,
yes,
And for
yes.
the first time this year, Sammy's like, "Stay in the car, you can go,"
No.
So
My God.
it broke my heart.
Yeah.
I went to work and I was crying the whole time,
Oh no.
and I called Juan and I'm like, my heart is breaking. He just told me, like
Yeah.
stay in the car, go
Yeah.
home, and I didn't realize like how grown up he was becoming. Like I
Right.
always felt like he's gonna depend on me forever, and
Yeah.
Juan was preparing me for that, and I'm like, no, my baby always needs me, So I'm only learning about his love languages,
Yeah.
but also giving him his space,
Yeah.
because as a mom, I want to protect him. I still want to
I
be the mama
know.
bear and, hug him and be like, who hurt my baby?
Yes.
But I'm learning what his love language now as a teenager
Yeah.
is. And one thing is that I notice his patterns.
Mm.
Like when his love tank is decreasing, he'll start asking me, "Do you love me? Do you love me?" And it's like, okay, that's my trigger of like, okay,
He needs,
he
yeah,
needs
yeah,
he
that
needs that
reassurance,
reassurance.
yeah.
Yeah. So, and I think as parents, we all get busy sometimes
Mm-hmm.
that we don't. Oh, he's fine. Yes, I love you. But taking that moment
Yeah,
where if he asks me, like, I do take it like,
yeah.
okay, what do I need to do to fuel his love language?
And I'm glad that you said that because I feel like a lot of the times, even with my little kids, like they'll ask me stuff and I'm just like, hold on, like just,
Yeah.
and it's like, wait, like they're only little for so little time. It's like whatever you're doing, just put it down and give them that attention.
Yeah.
And like you said, even as they grow older, they're gonna want that attention. It may not manifest itself as it does when they're little, but now that they're bigger, like even that 2 minutes that you give them
Right.
could mean the world to him.
Yeah. And so, and we make it a point, like Juan and I make it a point at night where we already cat his patterns, that we know exactly what
Yeah.
time he's gonna come and ask us both.
Oh.
Like, do you love me? And
Yeah.
he wants that affection and that
Yeah.
love. So um, I'm glad that he's still doing that,
Yeah.
even though he's 15. You
Yeah.
know, um, but yeah, definitely reading. I think it's very important to read teenagers because as a teenager, it's like if you're constantly yelling at him
Yes.
or constantly like telling them no,
Yeah.
it's like, well, my parents are always mad,
Yeah.
and I
Even
just
though we're trying to protect them,
yeah,
or but they register it completely different because we were kids once too.
right,
And when
right.
our mom would say, "No puedes hacer eso," it's like, oh,
Like,
they're
no
so
me quieres.
strict.
Yeah.
Growing up, I think a lot of the reason why we no nos apartamos del Señor is because my parents put a lot of rules.
Yeah.
And I know when we're kids, it sounds like my parents are so strict, but
Yeah.
they really, really care for you. Like they
Right.
want to make sure that you're okay, and
Yeah.
by following those rules. So, do you have any rules in your household?
Yes. So Juan and I, we both told Sammy like no sleepovers. So
Yeah, me too.
even though he's 15, he's not allowed to have sleepovers. If the kids want to come sleep over here at their house, they can.
Yeah.
He does have to let us know. Like if he has plans, he has to let us both know at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So not like hearing one story one time and then he goes and talks to Juan. So we have to be together.
Yeah.
And he has to give us at least 2 weeks notice so that way we can plan ahead.
Yeah.
Because it's our schedule and his schedule. Sometimes we understand, like last minute
Right.
things. So
Right.
it's like, okay, well, yeah, it makes it work. But if it doesn't, then
It's a
I'm
no.
like, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then our last, as long as he's in our roof, like, he does have to follow our rules. Definitely church is one important thing. So, and then just be respectful, like pick a parent. Like if you can't feel comfortable talking to me, go talk to
Yeah.
to Juan. And then if it's important, like I know he's gonna tell me.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
other than that, definitely, no matter how old they are, no matter if they're able to drive. For me, my philosophy is, if you're in my roof, you're gonna respect, and there is gonna be a curfew. Like don't
Yeah.
expect you're gonna have the freedom to
Yeah.
come and go.
Yeah.
Como me decía mi mamá, no es un hotel. Donde entras y sales,
Yeah.
So keeping that in mind. So
Yeah.
having those rules, and I always tell him, I'm always gonna be here if you need a hug. I'll hug you if you want to talk. My door is always gonna be open.
Yeah.
And so constantly praying. And I was just thinking about, there's a movie I just watched, which I think is really great for the teenage boys now.
Okay.
And you should definitely watch it with like your boys. But it's called The Forge.
Yes, I saw it. Well,
So,
I didn't see it with I saw it with Chris.
Okay.
But yes, I want to take us again. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's great. Like it makes you think of like what kind of a man you want your boys to grow up to be.
Right.
So it's a great movie.
Yes, yes. It was. I was excited. I love Christian movies.
Yeah.
Like we need way more.
Right.
But yes, I really liked that movie, and especially because it's who you surround yourself with.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, in our society right now,
Yep, that's it.
it's like everyone you're talking to in here and things
Yeah.
like that. So that was one of my questions for you is, when did you guys give him his first cell phone?
So
Because like people ask me when I'm gonna give
Yeah.
my 8-year-old a phone, and I'm like, never. Like that's not even.
Right, a
So when
question,
did when did you?
So I'm gonna say this lightly, even though my son might not agree. I made the mistake of giving it to him when he was 11.
Okay.
And that was because I was a single mom, and he
Right.
was walking to school and from school, and I'm
Okay.
like, that's the only way to
Communicate.
yeah, with him. And now that he's older, I'm like, I should have waited.
Okay. So you
So,
would not have done.
No.
Okay.
I would have definitely waited a lot longer.
Okay. And then, do you guys monitor his phone?
Yes, we do monitor. So there's a lot of apps where we have blocked. He has time restrictions.
Okay.
Juan knows a little bit more of iPhone, so he's like the tech
The
person.
techie guy.
So I'm like, you figure it out.
Yeah.
There's this app, I believe it's called Covenant Eyes.
Okay.
So he's able to see everything, like any
Oh, nice.
website, and
Oh,
it blocks it. So
okay.
Juan knows a little bit more about that, but
Yeah.
I'm glad you know,
Yeah.
because I would have been crazy from like 11 until I met Juan. I was like, I don't know
Yeah,
how
yeah,
I'm gonna handle
yeah,
what he's going through. So, but we do still monitor. We
yeah.
still, we have a contract with him that we all signed
Hey, that's so
that, you
cool.
know, we can check his phone anytime and he is not allowed to get mad.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the times, again, in the society that we live in, a lot of parents may say, "Oh, but that's their privacy.
Right.
Like we don't want to invade their private. Those are private
Hmm.
conversations. Like, well, this is my."
Right. There's no privacy here. If you want privacy, go
Yeah.
outside.
Yeah.
Go take a walk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's I like that. I think it's important with this day and age, like everything that goes on
Right.
in social media. And is he allowed to have?
Um, Only for an hour. So he does have like his TikTok, Instagram, but
Oh.
it's only an hour, and then it locks him out. Like he won't be able to use it for the rest of the day.
I'm taking notes. I don't know about you guys, but I'm taking notes because one of my cousins was like, "Hey, when are you gonna get Zeke his phone?" And I was like, "He's only 8. Like I'm not even
Because he needs
thinking
one.
about."
Yeah.
But like he had to get his daughter a phone because again, separate households and they
Right.
need to communicate.
Hmm.
So I think communication is very very important. But also it's like you said, you could have just got a flip phone or
Yeah.
no internet
Yeah.
whatsoever.
Something simple. So, but I just read this book called The Five Love Languages of a Teenager,
I'm gonna read this book.
and
Like.
it yeah, and it's really really good. It opened my eyes because there was a time where Juan and I couldn't figure out what
Mhm.
was wrong with Sammy.
Mhm.
Like we couldn't figure out why he was like that rebellious stage,
Okay.
like
Like something was going on
yeah.
and you were just like, yeah,
And we're praying, we're looking for guidance, we're talking to people, and it's
yeah,
just we couldn't figure out.
yeah.
And I actually found that book by accident on Amazon. It just
Okay.
one day just popped out, and I feel like it was God telling me
Yeah,
like you need to learn
yeah,
your son's love languages.
yeah.
So I got the book and I started reading it, and it was an eye opener because it does talk about like the signs, and then how teenagers do notice changes. And at
Mm-hmm.
that time, there was a lot of changes. It had been me and him for a long time, and then I
Oh,
bring in
here comes this
yeah,
guy.
with different values and characters to him
Right,
of like how to join a teenager,
right.
So it was definitely it opened up my eyes, and then I kind of explained it to Juan, like,
Yeah,
it's Sammy's love tank is not being filled, just like
right,
us, as couples, we have our own love language.
right.
So how do we fulfill each other's love language?
Yeah.
You know, and as my teenager, I realized like, oh, he also has one, that needs
Yeah.
to be filled
Yeah.
constantly. So
Oh, so if you could give advice to like mamas with younger kids who will eventually have teenagers, what advice?
definitely, don't stop praying for your kid. I
Yeah, I love
think
that.
a lot of parents, maybe not a lot, but we get so busy with life
Mm-hmm.
that as they get older, we kind of say they'll figure it out, but
Mm.
constantly be in their lives. Like one of my rules, and Sammy's like, Mom, why do you do that? Is I always ask him like, who are you talking to? Who are you
Yeah.
hanging out with?
Yeah.
Um, why are you talking to them?
Yeah.
And I have no problem, and I always tell him, and I tell his friends, I have no problem if I see that a friend is just not a good friend. I
Mm-hmm.
have no problem telling him, like, you can't be friends with my son. And he's 15,
Really?
and Sammy's like, Mom. And I've had to do that a couple times because to me it's important for him to surround himself with
Yeah.
people that, yes, they're gonna have their issues, but you guys can build each other up.
Yeah.
You know, you can't be just you be positive and then him or her
Yeah.
be negative,
Yeah.
So I have no problem doing that, but always constantly be praying,
Yeah.
and be able to still show your kids as they get older
Yeah.
what is the right thing and what's not.
Yeah. And what I like that you said is I think a lot of the times as kids grow older, we don't want them to think that we're always mad.
Right.
So we transition from being a parent to being a friend.
Yeah.
And that's where it can get tricky because God calls us to be parents, not friends.
Exactly.
So I'm glad that you said that because I think a
Yeah.
lot of the times we're like, no, they can be friends, have as many,
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's okay.
Yeah.
Something to, so I know.
Yeah. So keep in mind, it's hard because, as they get older, their way of talking changes. And then it's like you want to be part of their lives, but
Yes.
then at the same time, it's like you have to remember, you are the mom and you
Yeah.
are the dad,
Yeah.
and if you see something wrong, you can't just brush it off. Like,
Right.
I have a friend that, her kids are a lot older now, and she's like, oh, it's fine, they're learning, but they're going through something emotionally,
Yeah.
and I always have to remind her, like,
Yeah.
they're doing this because they're hurting internally.
Yeah.
Like something's triggering them
Yeah.
to do that.
Because as they get older, do you think it kind of changes?
Yeah, it does change. And I realized, like, for me, because it was just Sammy and I,
Mm-hmm.
Juan definitely had to teach me
Mm-hmm.
how to, like, listen, like take a step back and listen to what's really going on.
Yeah.
And so that was hard for me because I'm like, no, it's my way or the highway,
Right.
So I've been practicing that for about a year now with Sammy, and that was one thing Sammy told me. He's like, I don't tell you anything because you automatically yell and you
Mm-hmm.
automatically want to fix everything. And so he goes to Juan sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
and I tell Juan, there's some things I can't handle
Mm-hmm.
because my heart as a mom
Right.
breaks.
We're
So,
like, let's go.
yeah.
Like,
So I'm like, you handle this. And so
yeah.
we having that partnership, it definitely
Right.
is, and having my husband's back, I think is very important, especially now that they're teenagers.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
so
And it's important to have that unity amongst husband and wife.
yeah.
Because as teenagers, they can see that. They
Yeah.
catch on super quick.
Oh yeah.
And even my kid, they try to do it. My kids try to do it. They're like, Mama, can I do this? Dada said yes. I'm like, really? Like,
Doesn't sound like
right.
that.
And but like, if they know that there isn't that like
Unity. Yeah.
they'll be like, oh, if my dad said yes, my mom will say no,
Right.
or vice versa.
Right.
So it's like having, like you said, having your
Yeah.
partner's back, because in our household there will always be discipline.
Right.
Like that's a very important aspect for us, and at the same time though, it's like we want them to feel comfortable to come to us.
Right.
Like I don't ever want my kids to feel like they have to hide things because of the way my mom or dad are going to react.
Right. Which is, for me, I mean, I believe in discipline. I grew up being disciplined by my mom and dad.
Yeah.
And now with Sammy, like, I do believe in discipline, not just with words or like saying no, but there, if it gets to that point where I do have to get, la chancla, then yes, I will use it,
Yeah.
Now that he's older, not so much, because now.
Yeah, I was going to ask that, because
it doesn't, yeah.
It doesn't affect.
They tell you, like, se ríen, like, ah, no me dolió,
Yeah.
And so now it's like finding ways of how to discipline differently, like what actually hurts them.
Yes.
Like, as a teenager, we notice it's his cell phone.
Yes,
or
it's
his Xbox. Yeah.
how old was I? I was 16, probably same age as Sammy. Yeah. I did something I was not supposed to, and of course, if my parents were to use the chancla or anything, it wouldn't.
Yeah.
So they took this away. They took this away for like a week, and I was like, I'm never doing that. Like, it just, they know, and it's crazy how unfortunately it's come to that.
Right.
But it's like you said, you learn what.
Yeah, and so, but like my favorite verse is Proverbs 22:6.
Okay.
And I wrote it down.
Yes, let's read it.
It says, oh wait, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, nothing. Proverbs 22. I feel like I know it. All right.
Yeah, so it says, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. And I keep that to heart because not only are you teaching your kids how to stay and trust God, and if you're not able, like if you pass away, like for me, it's like if I pass away, I want to leave a legacy, to him and his future generations, where you can only trust God, But it goes a little bit deeper of you have to train your kid in every little aspect.
Yeah.
How to be respectful, how to say no, how to, identify what certain people they can trust, right?
Yeah.
Like not everybody
is a good person.
Yeah. And even at church, like I always tell Sammy, like, even in church, even the Bible says there's people that
Mm-hmm.
there's wolves,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Yeah.
dressed in sheep. Like
Yeah.
you have to be careful as
Yeah.
well on who you're gonna either speak life to
Right.
or it's gonna destroy you.
Right.
So surround yourself with that. And as a teenager, we're both learning. Juan and I are both learning on what is the best way to discipline
Yeah.
Sammy. Yes, he goes to church, but we understand one day he's gonna have to make the decision of
Right.
does he want to stay in church or is he gonna
Right.
leave? And then we're hoping and praying that he
Yeah.
will continue.
And I think that's a preocupación for a lot of parents is you want your kid to be good and do good.
Yeah.
It's just like, God, can you like confirm that
Right.
everything's going good? And what you said is that's the best legacy that we can leave our kids.
Yeah.
Because one day we won't be here, but they are going to be able to take what we've taught them
Right.
and continue for generations to come. So I don't know if a lot of you can tell from this angle, but Aimee is actually expecting baby number 2.
Yes.
We can see she is due any day.
Any day now.
So real quick, just to wrap up here, you're starting over.
I'm starting over.
Oh my goodness! Like, I think it's amazing though because I know it's like you and Juan, and now it's an experience that he didn't get to partake in raising
Right.
Sammy when he was young.
Yeah.
But now he gets to experience this, and you both get to experience it together. So, what's your biggest fear about starting over?
Definitely the crying, cause like now, with
like the baby crying.
Yeah, the baby crying. I'm like, what does it mean?
We're older now. We're older, and we're just like,
yeah. And I don't want to say the freedom, but like with Sammy, I can just tell him like we're going to the store and get ready.
Right.
I don't have to worry about diapers, milk, water, anything. Like I can just tell him like get ready,
go. Yeah.
We leave in 5 minutes.
Right.
So having that extra time.
Oh no.
And so I'm really curious to see how because Juan's always like, let's go. And
Did you pack the diaper bag?
Yeah. I'm really excited to see how he's gonna react.
Yeah.
It's like, we need the diapers, we need the wipes, we need everything. So, but he's very organized, so I think he won't have a challenge.
He won't have that. So what is something that you are looking forward to this time around?
That's hard because like I think I miss the cuddles, like cuddling. With Sammy doesn't let me cuddle no more. He's like
teenage boys. What can we say?
So definitely the cuddling. But I'm really excited to see Sammy
as a big
brother. Yeah, to see what he'll teach him and how protective. Because I was explaining to Sammy like my brother and I are 10 years apart. I'm older.
Yeah.
And so when I had my brother, like I wanted to protect him from anything.
Right. He was like your baby. Yeah.
And so I'm really curious to see
that dynamic
unfolds, especially since there's like that huge age gap, by the time Aiden turns 1, Sammy's gonna be 16.
I know.
So,
hey, free babysitter.
I know, so that's exciting.
Oh, well, that's cool. I just want to say thank you for coming on here and sharing a little bit about you, and we wish you and Sammy and Aiden and Juan just a super blessed life. And I know that it can be scary having baby number 2.
Yes.
Body change is so crazy. But the nice thing about this is that if God was with you with your first, He's definitely going to be there with your second.
Amen.
And then third and fourth. And
right.
And
whatever God decides.
Yeah. But we're still happy for you guys.
Thank you.
Congratulations again. And thank you so much for coming on this.
Thank you. Thank you for allowing me. And this is exciting. And I'm praying that, it touches someone's life.
Yeah.
Whatever they're going through, we have to remember we're all here to stick as mamas, whether it's a baby or whether it's a teenager, pray for each other because it's hard every year. So it's new challenges every moment. So
yes,
and I applaud you for doing this.
Oh,
so
tip you.
I pray that God continue to use you and bless you.
Yes,
in
it's
this
all
podcast.
all glory to God. When I first started doing this, I didn't. I'm like, are you really doing this? I'm like, I have to do it. I got to do it.
Yeah.
But already, again, thank you guys for being here, and we will see you next time. Bye.